During colonial times, women were seen as merely objects and were enslaved to their households. Women would marry young and bear many children for their husbands. Many years later, the Industrial Revolution created factory work and gave women the chance to work outside the home, which let them break their traditional work routine.
Republican motherhood was a term invented in the colonial era that described the role of a woman in the household. They were to stay at home and clean, and they would serve their country by being teachers and the nurturers for their children. With no other employment or educational opportunities available, most women were fine with being the mothers of the nation.
In the 1800s, women began to become irritated with being caged in their house. As women started receiving jobs in factories and received public education, they grew to resent the popular cult of domesticity, a view that women should be at home and submit to their husbands. And from these women, the first feminists emerged. Catherine Beecher was a former housewife and a pioneer of the movement for women to work and leave the house. She was one of the many to spark the revolution. Earlier, women like Lucia Moth spoke up in London and were ignored simply because they were women. Yet in America, women gained more attention. Dorsha Dix traveled the country and conducted a report on mental institutions, which led to their improvement and made women's publication receive more attention.
Women's rights were not just championed by the individual. A group of feminism met at Seneca, New York, to discuss women's rights. There they composed the Declaration of Sentiments, which declared that all men and women were equal. They also demanded the right for women to vote. While the meeting and the document received ridicule from the press, it condensed the women's rights movement to a single document and showed that women were committed to attaining their rights. Women's rights were a necessary step in the progression of rights in America. The Founding Fathers clearly did not anticipate that women would ever have the opportunities offered to them by the Industrial Revolution, so women were ignored in the federal documents. The feminism movement shows that the women were educated and independent enough to stand up for the rights they deserve in society.
But why did the first feminist movement need the Industrial Revolution to gain popularity? The answer lies with what options for life women had at the time. In early America, women were expected to marry early and provide children for their husband and their colony. While there were women's clubs, their main activities consisted of knitting and other womanly things. When factory work required many laborers skilled with their hands, women accustomed to knitting found that they could get more money with their hands, more money and freedom from work than from marriage.
To this we look on to the women. So how does the feminist movement help women after it became popular? Did it last? To this we look on to the women who shared their passion and became trailblazers for generations to come, and paved the way for long-lasting independence. We see women like Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony, who in the near future become passionate women's rights activists and supported overall equality in society. And who can we thank for this? The courageous women during the Industrial Revolution.